This is Egypt's newest amusement park. It officially opened its doors in 2023 in New Cairo, housing a variety of family attractions, including a Jinma Rides suspended coaster. This is only one of 3 of its kind in the entire world and the only one outside of China. It stands 67 feet tall, reaches speeds of almost 40 miles per hour, and goes upside down twice. I had the opportunity to visit El Malahi less than a year after it officially opened. In this video, I'm going to do my best to describe the atmosphere around the park, as well as walk through the ride experience of Dragon Force. Now, first things first, El Malahi translates to Land of Amusement, aka Amusement Park, so nothing too crazy. It's about half an hour away from the Cairo International Airport, as well as the city center of Cairo. You can find it directly off of this main highway. You have these cars driving by real fast, quite literally in the middle of the desert, and then you crest over this hill and then boom, there's a roller coaster and flat rides. It's pretty funny. It's just like a random amusement park next to like a gas station, and what I'm assuming is a future strip mall. So clearly this is an up and coming area, and this is designed to be like a place that you'd kill a couple hours at. Because the park is not very big at all, it is free to enter and you just pay per ride. And like everything else that we experience in Egypt, it is very affordable. The largest attractions here are 80 Egyptian pounds, or about $1.60 in US dollars. The single most expensive attraction here is a horror house walkthrough at 120 Egyptian pounds, or $2.40 US. We elected to get a ticket package that ended up being about 13 US dollars, giving us access to multiple attractions. We could do whatever we wanted until we ran out of points. We opted to use most of those for Dragon Force, but we also did the horror house walkthrough. Got to check out some of the flat rides. It was a fun time. It's a very narrow park. Pretty much everything is directly out in front of you. When you arrive, you're going to go up the stairs or ride up an escalator up to your landing where you can get your tickets. You'll get a great view of their Star Flyer, Frisbee, they have a controlled drop tower, swinging ship, a lot of common, let's say, cookie cutter attractions. But because it's so new, the park felt fresh. And that was a nice change of pace from everything else that we'd been experiencing in Cairo, which is notoriously old and historic. You know, even just the day before, we'd been at Dream Park, which is Egypt's largest amusement park. It's over by the pyramids. And that felt dated and old-timey, right? This reminded me more of like an American family entertainment center. Some solid, fun family attractions, a nice seating area with food trucks where you can just chill out. They even had a mechanical bull, which is hilarious. Pretty much anything that lends itself to a nice, laid-back evening at the park. And they had long hours too. They closed at 10 p.m., which is awesome because a lot of attractions in Cairo close around 4 or 5. So that's why you see all of our footage is at night. We made sure to take advantage of that. The main reason we wanted to visit was because of Dragon Force. We'd never done a Jinma roller coaster before. We knew that they had quite a reputation, and in North America there are quite literally none that we could experience. So we were super intrigued what it was going to feel like. First impressions, the track looked like inverted Premier track. The coaster just operates with one train, looking very similar to one of Vecoma's family suspended coasters. It even has the vests that you typically find on like a B&M wing coaster that are flexible at first, and then as soon as you dispatch, they lock in place. But once you're actually on it, I tell you what, it was super smooth. I was actually pretty impressed. With it being a newer Jinma coaster, I'm assuming that they have learned from some of their mistakes in the past. I'm now very intrigued to try one of their older coasters one day, see how that goes. But this was a pretty good family attraction. It's got a nice swooping drop, most forceful moment at the bottom there right before you go into your first inversion. It's a very short ride with a small plot of land. That last roll, you even get a little bit of hang time and you're like lifted out of your seat, which is fun. Transition-wise, very smooth. Great flow from one element to the next. From our multiple rides, we ended up preferring the front the best. I think that was where it was the most forceful. I think it's a nice ride to have at this park. You know, clearly this is a place that is budget conscious. I can't imagine that they would necessarily be able to afford a similar ride type from, let's say, Vekoma. And when Jinma tends to produce very similar products to other worldwide manufacturers, they can get a good rate with them, which is why they have proven to be successful in that part of the world. So while like I personally wouldn't choose this over one of Vecoma's rides, I do appreciate it for what it is, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Nice, comfortable experience, just wish it was longer. But in conclusion, you know, if you find yourself in Cairo, this isn't a place that I would put at the top of your to-do list. You should absolutely prioritize the historical attractions. I'd even be more likely to recommend Dream Park. There's a lot more to do there. But I tell you what, if you finish up with whatever you're doing early and you have an open evening, you can get a cheap Uber ride over here for just a couple of dollars. That could be fun to hang out for an hour or so. It was colorful, it was clean and cute. I was glad I went. Personally, I don't think I would go back, but I'm saying that as an international visitor. I think this park probably has more appeal to the locals, and there's a market for that. I'm just glad to see that this area got a nice new roller coaster, something modern, which is a good contrast from everything else at Dream Park, which has been open since the 90s. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, make sure to stay tuned for more reviews here at Coaster Studios, and I'll see you next time.